Hello, everyone. And I'm happy to kick off next conversation with the expert you already had the pleasure to listen to today. Thank you, Krystian, for a great conversation, for a great panel at the beginning.
Thank you very much, Mary. Good to have you here.
I always love to talk to you, and I love to talk to you about AI. But everyone's talking about AI nowadays, and there aren't that many people that can talk about actual implementations. And this
Correct.
is the core of our conversation today. We're going to be talking about the things that we did, that you did with AI for our clients.
Right, that's true. So those will be three, projects we delivered some time ago, mostly around the generative AI, but also slightly with data engineering part. So very interesting because also not only proof of concept, we see that a lot of companies or a lot of people mostly are talking about some concepts or pilot projects or proof of concept. Actually, some of those were full scale generative AI products, which is cool by far, I believe.
So we have three completely different projects for
Right.
three completely different domains.
Yes.
This is also how we made the choice, so it's more interesting to the audience. Let's kick off.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's kick off. So I'm thinking let's start with New Globe.
Mm-hmm.
New Globe is an edtech client. It's a company that's making it easier for teachers worldwide to teach. Basically,
Yeah.
it makes it easier for them to connect with kids and to transform learning. Basically, that's one of their missions, and they partner with governments worldwide. So basically, the company, when we met them, was scaling rapidly. They wanted to expand across new geographies and help more and more teachers with their work. And the first problem, as I understand it, in this rapid expansion was how to accelerate the creation of their teacher manuals, like teacher scripts. Every teacher needs a script. And when you're expanding to geographies, I guess you have to localize the manuals. So how do you make this process faster? So they came to us with that. And what happened?
Yeah, that's actually good question because going a little bit even back to what you asked before we will jump into the actual solution. The problem was introducing the knowledge to the market or introducing the solution as soon as possible. So actual problem that we were solving was not AI problem, but rather time to market problem or product to market problem. Because when they are introducing a new teacher scripts or new knowledge materials to the market, it could take even 18 months, like almost 2 years in introducing new solution to the market, which is extremely long considering educational market, in their case in Africa.
Any market, 2 years is long.
Any market, that's true. So basically, the problem that AI is solving there is actually time to market problem, right? So how to streamline, how to accelerate the knowledge creation process. So basically, as a baseline, we had multiple documents. So the manual process is as follows. There are like a couple hundreds academic people in UK that are working on educational content, let's say. And their job is to connecting those elements together based on what is called core curriculum, which is the fundamental knowledge requirements for the specific country. And they've been mixing this knowledge, adjusting that to the specific country needs. And it was very manual, time consuming, labor consuming process. So basically, and since Basically, it's again very much manual, meaning you need to connect multiple documents together, combine them, transform those documents. Sounds like, perfect scenario for utilizing generative AI. So we developed the full-scale system. It wasn't the pilot, which is also very interesting, because it was one of those not many cases where we started from the full-scale projects, actually, right?
So we
Because
started from scratch.
yeah,
And
we
it
started from
turned
scratch and delivered MVP already, which is
okay.
not very often. This is not our, usual way, because usually we prefer to go with some pilot or POC, to be frank, and then build MVP. We believe that this is a very good practice in terms of generative AI, because still, hey, this is, experimental technology, right? To some extent, we know more and more every month about it, but still, it may be random. It can hallucinate. So, but still, we kind of decided that because of time to market, we want to introduce as soon as possible.
What does soon mean in this case? How fast?
It was I believe around 3 months of development. So again, not so long. Usually our POC process is 4 to 6 weeks. So still, it's 3 times longer in build the actual, minimum viable product or minimum valuable product. But we developed the system that is utilizing generative AI technology and combining those knowledge and creating or generating scripts for the teachers, for their lessons, actually, right? So as you can imagine, one of the biggest challenge was around hallucination, because this is, a piece of work to make sure that in terms of, biology, it will not hallucinate, right? So it could be like it could be a nightmare if it would. So yeah, we did the system, we delivered the system. At the end of the day,
What were the results? We only have a couple of minutes per each case.
sure,
What happened in
sure.
the end?
Basically, it streamlined the process, accelerate the process from 4 hours per one teacher script to actual 45 seconds. So it was like extremely efficient. And this is the biggest, I would say, thing with the AI projects, that until now, usually, the process improvement was like 5%, 7%, or 10%. If you had any process in your company and you had like 5% improvements, then it was like, wow. But through, generative AI technology, you may provide like couple 100% of improvements, which is amazing.
Was the client themselves a bit surprised of the result?
They've been expecting that it might be very impactful. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, we finished with very high quality materials generated. So
So
it was very useful.
something I bet is helping in expanding across new markets. So
Yeah, exactly.
we have another great example of massive acceleration, and this time we're going to move to pharma.
Yeah.
We're going to move to one of the best known life sciences and technology companies out there. So Merck. We were lucky enough to have a couple of projects for Merck, and one of them was aimed at their R&D processes. So we have a pharma giant, and one of their business model is built on being quick at experimenting and launching new drugs into the market. And so one of the processes that this whole endeavor includes is going through scientific literature, right? And looking
Exactly.
for components. So this is a process that would have to be manual back in the day. Whereas
Yeah. So it was at the end of the day around analyzing research papers and market news, basically. So again, very much manual process of highly educated, usually PhD type of people that needs to manually read through some scientific documents and identify chemical compounds that can be used for new product development, basically, right? Which new product development in the chemical industry is, of course, something that PhD people should do, and they should build a strategy. There should be creative around it, but not maybe reading like the documentation couple hours daily, right? And spending their time in just, again, manual rereading the text, the
Basically,
articles.
wasting time.
Yeah, wasting times, unfortunately. So in this case, we've built the solution that is automatically analyzing those articles based on multiple data sources and combining that with the data engineering pipeline that Merck has actually with their product portfolio, and basically analyzing what are the potential chemical compounds that they could use in their new product development. So also very interesting. The very, let's say, important part of that was that actually not many companies are aware of that, but generative AI still should be built on very solid foundation, which is data engineering in our case. So usually we very often see that, hey, you need to build this ETL extract transformation load pipeline so that you need to have a data, right? Garbage in, garbage out. We're always saying that. And this is exactly the same with the generative AI. So we started with building a solid foundation based on data and included basically data engineering work in the very beginning of the project. So,
and we ended up with a beautiful AI assistant. And this assistant brought incredible results. Tell us about the results.
Yeah. So we see that actually that process could took like even 6 months, which can be streamlined into 6 hours. Because like the biggest, thing with the AI is that you can scale it almost indefinite, the sky is the limit basically, right? Or the token price is the limit. So basically you don't have like 100 or 200 on 1000 PhD professionals to use at the same time for this specific case, where you can scale up the AIs to do that basically. So it was a massive improvement.
An assistant with many brains and many hands.
Yeah, that works at the same time.
So let's jump to the last example that we have for today, and that's PropTech. So yet new domain. We have a very cool idea of a startup from New York, a New York-based startup that's bringing together loan officers and agents in real estate. It's a platform that connects loan officers and agents and home buyers.
Exactly.
And customers who are going through a very painful process of buying a home. Anyone who's ever done it knows how painful it can be. So the platform wanted, as always, any kind of platform, better conversions.
Yeah, better conversion, better engagement. So the main thing over here is that when you're looking for a new home or new apartment, there is this, they call it home trajectory. So basically, hey, this is my desired place, right? But the biggest challenge is that how can I know something more about this location, whether it's good for my kids, for my nightlife, like what is the crime level in this very specific area, what is the transportation services available there, medical services all around, right? Because I don't know, everyone is different, right? Each person has like totally different needs in terms of the locations. So what we did, it was like super interesting because it was about hyper personalization. So everyone in the service design industry is talking about hyper personal trends as a key signals of change, but basically we're seeing for the first time that generative AI may deliver that actually. So what it does, it actually building hyper personalized insights for your location. So, hey, Mary, you're looking for an apartment in London. So you prefer, I don't know, vegan food, nightlife, but also you like, ride a gravel bicycle, right? And you're looking into very well commuted places, very good transportation level because you need to travel to city, right? So actually, hey, this is like your hyper personalized location, and here are some insights about this very location that you may consider, right? Which building an amazing engagement into the platform and actually boosting even like the conversion to 10% in their case and 60% in the engagement level, because it produces personalized content, personalized insights for you, which are super important in the real estate
Well,
business.
let me tell you, I'm a marketer. If I hear a 60% increase in conversion,
Yeah.
I'm opening a bottle, this is
It's amazing.
tremendous.
It's amazing. And this is like a real value, because usually, how much personalized content you can produce in terms of, doing it manually, right? And here you can automate this process. If you have like 50K users, you may have 50K personalized insights, which is also, to be frank, a challenge from the technical perspective, because we saw that when you're scaling up the solution, you also should consider additional cost of cloud-based models, generative AI models, right? Which is kind
Absolutely.
of challenging from the price policy perspective. And it just shows that when you will build a new products of tomorrow that are including generative AI, you need to consider how the price model will increase when your customer base will increase.
Naturally.
But this is very, a good question to ask in the very first place.
This efficiency comes at a price.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously. I'm afraid we have to wrap up. Thanks so much for the insights. And it just so happens that we mentioned a new globe, and in the next panel, we're going to have a speaker right from New Globe. So Alexandru is already there in the backstage. Take a listen and stay with us until the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.